Greetings, Sanger Unified teachers and staff. This is Rachel from Curriculum and Instruction, and I am going to walk you through the Canvas dashboard. Now, as we get started, I just want to suggest to you that you take a breather, recognize that I'm going to walk you through this one step at a time, that each of the lessons in your Growing with Canvas course will teach you all the nuances of Canvas, and you can practice those as you go. So first and foremost, how do I get around this platform? What am I looking at? So when you log into Canvas, you're going to land on this page, which is called your dashboard. It's basically a summary, for lack of a better word, of all the things in Canvas that you have access to. So over here on the left, you have your global navigation menu. This is the menu that will get you to all things Canvas. If you are in a class and you want to go back somewhere, you can use the global navigation menu. If you're getting help from Canvas and you want to go back to a course, you can use the global navigation menu. This blue bar never goes anywhere. And it does all sorts of things. I'm not going to go into all those things in this tutorial, but I'll just give you an overview. So account is basically where you can access your profile picture and change your notifications and change some important settings, kind of like your account settings on your on your iPhone or your TV or something like that. That's where you're going to access that. This admin button is going to be only for site administrators like principals and CSPs and vice principals, as well as district administrators like myself. So an average teacher or staff person is not going to have that option. Dashboard is where we're at right now. Courses, now this is the place where you can go and find the extensive list of all the courses you are currently enrolled in as a student, that you're currently enrolled in as a teacher. Maybe you're an observer in a class if you have children who are using Canvas in Sanger. You can also access courses that have been passed. So if you taught an econ class last semester, that's where you would find it. And there's ways to customize what you see in that screen. Calendar is self-explanatory. It's kind of the dumping ground of all calendars for all of your courses all in one place. It's actually really convenient for students because they can see, oh, I have a math test this day and I have this homework tonight and this homework tonight and this homework tonight, and they don't have to be looking at multiple calendars. It's all in one place for them. The inbox is basically like Canvas's internal email system. It's great, especially for K through 6 students who don't have a district email. It's a way that they can communicate with you. History is kind of like if you're using Safari and you go to history and it shows you all of your viewing history. It's basically the same thing. You can look at all of the places that you've been and visited within Canvas. Commons is basically like, think of it as this like massive file cabinet for Canvas. It's a place where all of the institutions that use Canvas can go in, individual teachers can go in and share stuff that they've made. So if there's a, teacher in Australia who teaches 3rd grade and made this fantastic science module and they want to share it with everybody in the world, they can go in and put it in Commons. They can also just share it with people in their district. And that is something that we have here in Sanger, is we have a district specific area within Commons where you can find things that are just shared for teachers within Sanger. Studio is Canvas's fancy screen recording, video editing software, similar to an iMovie of sorts, or Edpuzzle of sorts, if you know what those are. And it has all sorts of really powerful, cool tools in it, and you can access it as a teacher. Students can access it as well as students. And then there's the help button, always helpful, especially if you're starting out in Canvas. There's a fantastic chat feature you can literally access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they are so fast in giving you what you need um, to, solve whatever problem it is that you have. So, um, okay, let me clear this. Hold on one second. Clear. Okay, here we go. So, next section. This right here is our course card section of Canvas. So, these are all the courses that you are enrolled in as either a teacher or a student or possibly an observer or any kind of role. Any way that you're enrolled in any kind of Canvas course, it's going to show up here. This top section is courses that are published, meaning like it's viewable for students. These are, this shows you how many courses I'm involved in. That's not going to be the way it is for you. You're only going to have a few. This section down here is unpublished courses, which would only be courses that you are enrolled in as a teacher, but you have not published them, meaning that you have not made them accessible to students yet. So back to the top. Okay, so let me just show you a couple things within here. So you'll notice like this is one course card for Growing with Canvas. That's the course that you're actually enrolled in right now and participating in. So you would have this course card on your dashboard. Another card you should see, and if you don't, you're welcome to email me or your principal or your site administrators, they can add you, um, is a staff center for whatever site or sites that you work at. There's also a district staff center where you can go and you can get content for like HR and training and salary schedules and informed K-12 and things like that. And then this is an example of a card where you would be a teacher. So within each card, you'll notice that there's these little icons, which are notifications to tell you, oh, there's some kind of activity happening in this class. So you'll see right here that there's this number 1 next to this little icon that's telling me that there's a discussion that was recently posted in Sanger High Staff Center that I haven't read. This icon right here is for notifications. And a notification versus a discussion, a notification would be like maybe a principal at your site posts, hey, don't forget, collect student permission slips for this field trip on Friday. Or don't forget you have your staff training that's due, at the end of October or something like that. Whereas a discussion is something where there's more of kind of like a back and forth. You can use discussions as part of assignments for within your courses with students. This little paper and pencil icon is an assignment. And then this one is files. So again, if there's any number next to those, it's showing you basically that there's new activity. It's something for you to look at. Next, I want to show you these 3 magical dots. I call them the 3 magic dots because anytime you find them, you're going to find something cool. It's going to do something great for you. And you'll find them all over Canvas in all sorts of pages. So I'll just introduce them to you now. So if you click on the 3 dots, you have a few options. So first, you can change your course card color. So I'll just give you an example right now. So do you see how it changed this little button here to blue, and it changes the text so that the text is blue? Now, if you wanted all of your course cards to, let's just say all of the courses that I'm teaching, I want those all to be one color. All the courses that I'm enrolled in, I want to be another color. Or maybe you want a different color for every period that you're teaching. Or maybe you want, all of the core content courses that you're part of to be one color, and then any like after school clubs or things like that to be a different color. All of those are ways that you could change. Down here, right, this little code is called a hex code. It's just fancy, like coding techie terminology for custom colors. So if you want to find a color other than the ones that are listed here, on the tutorial that you're actually working in right now, there's a link to a hex code cheat sheet, and you can find hex codes for thousands of colors in there. So if you're fancy, go for it. Under nickname, you can change this if you, for example, have like, I don't know, 3 periods of economics and you want to give them each a different, like period 1, period 2, period 3, or you wanted to say, this is honors US history and this is regular US history, or just for some reason the nickname that is being used currently doesn't suit your fancy, you can change it there. If you click move, you'll see you can just switch the order of your courses, move them around so that the ones that are most important are at the top. So this is a course card view. If you go up here to these 3 dots, again, there's those magic dots, and you click on that, you can click on list view, and that will give you a list of your courses. So this is like district staff center, and there's fancy stuff in there happening. So I should pay attention to that. Then there's a recent activity view that shows me any announcements, any assignment notifications, any discussions for all of the classes that I am part of. So if you see this red dot, it means there's something that I haven't seen or read. You can click on any one of these course links that will take you directly to that announcement, or directly to that assignment, or directly to that discussion. If you click show more, it will show you the very specific things that you're missing or that you haven't read or seen. Now, don't freak out by this. I'm part of a ton of classes because I am an administrator for Canvas. Yours will not be that long, hopefully. So this is the recent activity view. I'm going to go back to card view. I just like that view the best. Now, over here on the right is your sidebar, and it gives you this fancy to-do list. Now, a to-do list can be great. It can also be somewhat confusing for students at times because different things will show up on your to-do list that maybe you don't want students to see. It's not my favorite feature of Canvas, I'm just being honest. And unfortunately, there's no way to disable it as of now. If you are like, if you continue on with this course and you start using it with your students and you're like, darn that to-do list, I hate it. There's actually a way to vote and to basically communicate to Canvas, this is terrible, give us a way to turn it off. And that is included in this tutorial that you're in right now. So if you want to find that link, you can go ahead and click on that and vote for it to be turned on or off. This section is coming up. It's what's coming up in the next 2 weeks in your courses. Again, this is for all of your courses, not any one specific. This one, start a new course. Now, this is something that's confusing for new Canvas users. I get emails, Rachel, hey, I have I'm teaching econ, I'm teaching US history, I'm teaching algebra, I'm teaching 3rd grade. I just made a course for my students. How do I add them? You don't need to do that. Something fantastic about Canvas is that it's populated by PowerSchool. So PowerSchool is like where all of our students, course information is housed, and that gets transferred to Canvas. And a couple days before the beginning of a trimester or semester, you will see a new course card pop up here that has the title of your course and probably the year, like 21, 22, or 2021, or whatever it is. And if you click on it and open it, you'll see that your students are pre-populated in there. And if there's any drops or changes, that again will automatically be pushed into Canvas. You don't have to make those changes. The only reason that you would want to use the start a new course button is if you were making, for example, a PLC course. Like, I want to have a place where all of my 2nd grade team can go in and we can build curriculum together and then share it with each other and then use it with our students. Or maybe you just are teaching a, videography class or an art class, and you want to kind of go in and maybe pull some things from Commons or borrow a unit from a different teacher, or and play around with it and change it and kind of make it your own. That would be a great place to do that. And then you could import it into your actual student populated classes. So starting a new course is an option. And then viewing grades as a student, that's going to show you your actual grades, the grades for the assignments that you've completed, any comments from a teacher, any comments back and forth between you and a teacher. Whereas as a teacher, if you click view grades, it's going to take you to the grade book. And one thing I forgot to say is this to-do list. For teachers, it shows you what you need to grade. For students, it shows any tasks that need to be done. Okay, so I think I have covered, I'm just looking at my notes here real quickly. Yep, I covered everything for that section. So I'm going to actually just show you, okay, so I landed on this dashboard. I kind of know what I'm looking at now. Here's all my courses. Rachel, I'm taking Growing with Canvas. I just want to go to that class. So just click on it. Click on that class. And what you will see is a course navigation menu over here on the left. I'll just highlight that for you really quickly. Course navigation menu. This is your content area. Up here at the top is recent announcements, and you can turn that on or off to show at the top of your home page. That's what this page is that we're looking at. Over here on the right is your sidebar. Again, there's all these different options, and I'll go over those quickly. And then up here is what Canvas calls your breadcrumb menu. I don't know why they call it that, but nonetheless, that's what it is. So course navigation menu. This is basically how you navigate within a course. You can get to announcements or modules or anything that's listed. And this is fully customizable. So I am currently looking at this as a teacher. Anything that doesn't have this little eyeball and the cross out on it is something that my students can see. So if you are enrolled in Growing with Canvas and you open this course, you're only going to see home, announcements, modules, grades, people, grade sync, or you actually won't see grade sync because that's a teacher only view, regardless of whether it's on or off. But you won't be able to see any of these other things. So anyways, it's fully customizable. And I know this might seem a little premature, but I'm just going to show you how to customize it because I get a ton of questions about that. So if you click on settings, and this is actually really important because you want your students to be able to navigate your courses really easily. Just like you right now as a new learner of Canvas are like, whoa, what am I looking at? The less that you have to look at, the better. The easier it is to get to where you want to go, the better. So if you click on settings and then just kind of ignore these other tabs for now and click on navigation, that's just saying, how do I navigate this course? So you'll see up here at the top is what you and your students can see in your global navigation menu. There's a couple things that are just teacher view only, like grade sync. There's another one down here. Where is it? Analytics. Item banks is only for teachers to see. Badges is only for teachers to see. But for the most part, on the top is what students will see. On the bottom is what is hidden. So best practice is to have as few things viewable by students as possible. You definitely have to have a homepage. You can't move that. I would suggest, and it's best practice, to have announcements clickable, because if you're making announcements to your students, hey, don't forget we have a test on Friday. Here's the study guide in case you were absent. Or maybe there's an announcement you want to make and you teach second grade and you have observers that are parents in your class. That's a fancy feature of Canvas that we'll go over later. Then they can actually view the announcements really easily too. Modules is a place, think of modules like a synonym of module would be a unit or a file in a filing cabinet. So within a module, let's just say in 7th grade US history, I'm teaching the Constitution and I have a quiz that they take and I have an ed puzzle that they do and I have a Nearpod that we go through and I have a Google slideshow and I have these worksheets that they have to do. All of those things can go into one module so that your students aren't having to click on a bunch of different buttons to find all those things. So using modules is definitely best practices, hands down. Then grades, you want your students to be able to view their grades, see what's been turned in, see any comments that you've made. People is just where they go to see who's enrolled in this course and how could I contact them? What's their name? What's their last name? So that students can message each other or you or TAs or anyone else in the course. And then grade sync is just a feature that you as a teacher are going to need if you're going to sync your grades with PowerSchool, but I'll go over that later. And then don't forget to click save. Okay, so I showed you the global navigation menu. I showed you how to customize that. It's also collapsible. So if you click on these three pancakes at the top, that will collapse that. But I usually keep it visible so that it's easy to navigate. In this content area is basically like, this is your homepage. This is what students are going to see first. Lots of teachers set it up differently. We're going to go over homepages in a future lesson. So I'm not going to go over that now, but just know that this is where your content will show up. Over here on the right-hand side is your sidebar. All sorts of cool features. Student view is fantastic. If you're ever making anything and you're like, I wonder what students are going to see when they log in. You can click on student view. You can import existing content. Maybe you want to borrow from another teacher in your PLC, or maybe a different teacher at a different school, or maybe from Commons. You can choose your home page. So you choose the page that your students see when they land here. You can view your course stream, like all the activities. You can create a new announcement. You can view analytics, which is basically like looking at data, looking at student data. So how much have my students logged in and what assignments have they completed or not completed? And just kind of helping you view access to your course. And then you can view course notifications, and we'll go over notifications in an upcoming lesson, so don't worry about that. This is your to-do list just for the course that you're in. So this is just for Growing with Canvas. And as a student, it's what assignments you need to do. And as a teacher, it's what you need to grade. And then down here, again, you have coming up. Excuse me for a second. And then again at the top, this is that breadcrumb navigation button, whatever. It's kind of funny name. But if you click on announcements or any other feature, you'll see that it kind of it pops up with that title. It basically just shows you where you are within a course. That's all. So I have given you an overview of the Canvas dashboard. Here's what you look at if it will load anytime soon. Here's what you look at when you land on Canvas. Here's how I get to where I need to go, generally speaking. Here's some kind of to-do things. And then if I want to go to a specific course, I showed you how to navigate that. So look forward to telling you all sorts of cool features in Canvas in the upcoming lessons.